remember the Bicentennial as if it was yesterday. In 1976, I was in 5th grade. I remember taking a field trip to the Oakland train station to see the Freedom Train, which showcased America's national treasures. I remember seeing the tall ships coming through the New York and Boston harbors on my black and white TV. I remember getting my Bicentennial quarter, which for an 11-year-old girl, 25 cents was my life savings. And by the way, I carry it with me today. But what I remember most about that period isn't just a memory, it's a feeling. On July 4th, 1976, it was a cloudy night in Hayward, California, but those fireworks were never brighter. I remember the gratitude that I felt to my mother, who came to the United States from Mexico in 1958 with hopes for a better life. She came here with nothing, but gave us everything. She raised me and my 8 siblings all by herself. And with the help of our Catholic village, with the great education that we received, and with a lot of work, she managed to send all 9 of us off to college. Somehow, she gave us the opportunities she never had. And on that very night, I felt my future. This amazing story of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness can only happen in America. For me, this is more than just a dream. I am the personification of the American dream. And thank you to my mom, who still looks upon me every single day and still motivates me every single minute. So now, as chair of America 250, the national bipartisan initiative that's planning the nation's 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 2026, my hope is very simple. I want everyone to feel what I felt in 1976. In fact, we are going to engage 350 million Americans. So if you take away one thing from today, make it these 3 words, 350 for 250. Because no one has ever made the grand proclamation of engaging 350 million Americans in anything. But we are going to take this journey together. And we're going to start by going back to that time period of 1976 and seeing where our country was then. So the Vietnam War had just ended slightly before then. Watergate was fresh, inflation was high, and trust in our government was low. But more than 90% of Americans participated in at least one bicentennial event. They went to their parades, their parties, their cookouts, their celebrations. Millions of people came together for a shared history and connection. And so, for me, this is a journey that perhaps we as a country have never gone through before, but perhaps we can do this all over again, even bigger and better. But look, we have our challenges today. We know that many Americans, especially young Americans, are more cynical about our country than any other time in modern history. A recent Gallup poll shows that for young Americans, ages 18 through 34, only 18% are extremely proud to be American. That's a problem. And so, as we think about how we're going to move forward, we need to somehow take a step back. And where can we turn to in this time of national angst? Well, look no further than the Declaration of Independence. For almost 250 years, the Declaration has been a source of clarity during times of national turmoil. It proclaims basic truths that have resonated with many generations, and it has shaped many leaders as they navigate their own darkest hours. Abraham Lincoln looked to the Declaration of Independence beyond just the Civil War's goal of winning our union. He used the Declaration as a test for equality. Franklin Roosevelt, during World War II, reshaped how we were thinking about fighting fascism abroad and made it clear that that effort was inseparable from the principles that Thomas Jefferson wrote in 1776. And Martin Luther King invoked this founding document as part of the civil rights movement. He referred to it as a promissory note, something that every American was meant to inherit. All three of these leaders showed that we can still turn to the Declaration during our own darkest hours. The 250th anniversary is an amazing opportunity to rediscover our shared values and our shared history. It's an opportunity to love our country and still want it to be more perfect, just as our founding fathers envisioned. Now, as I think about these moments, these maybe once in a lifetime moments, but for me, maybe it's twice in a lifetime, I think about we just don't have a moment to spare. Now, as we think about the celebration that's coming, yes, we will have many, many moments. There will be concerts. There will be fireworks. There will be so much pageantry and the pomp and circumstance that this country deserves. To really honor the Declaration of Independence, we need a movement. We need a national, bipartisan investment in civic life and shared purpose. Thankfully, at America 250, that is underway. We have developed values-based programming that is unprecedented in scope and scale. So here's what we're doing. We have just launched our third round of America's Field Trip. America's Field Trip is a national student competition for grades 3 through 12 who get to answer the question, what does America mean to me? The award recipients get to choose from an essay, a poem, or a piece of artwork. And should they be selected, they also get to choose from a series of backstage experiences, most of which are with our federal agencies, and most of which have never been offered before. So some of these field trips include, for example, a backstage tour of the Kennedy Center at Cape Canaveral, being able to feed the animals at the National Zoo, a sleepover at the Smithsonian. Or when I took the New York tour, it wasn't just a tour of the Statue of Liberty. We took the private National Park Service boat from Manhattan Island to Liberty Island. We got up to the crown of the Statue of Liberty, which doesn't normally happen on the public tour. We got to walk the hallowed halls of Ellis Island when no one else was there. We were hosted for lunch by the CEO of BNY Mellon, Robin Vince. We got to see the markets room, the trading floor, the cybersecurity command center. We ended the day at the New York Federal Reserve, getting an overview of monetary policy and getting into the deep storage, into the vault. For many of these kids, it was first time on a plane, first time out of state, first time on a family vacation. I had this one young girl come up to me and say she felt like she won the golden ticket, but this is better than Willy Wonka. I bet for many of them, they never thought about what it meant to be a park ranger, a banker, or a cyber expert. But maybe for some of them, They felt their future for the very first time. This summer, we launched Our American Story, which is intended to be the largest oral history project in the country, where we're taking Airstreams, these interview units, and trying to unbury the buried treasure of the stories that have never been told. We are launching America Gives, the largest volunteer initiative ever in the history of our country. We are making 2026 a record year of volunteer hours. It's never happened before in our country. So for all of you who have had high school students who had to graduate from high school with community service hours, that number has never been recorded at the national level. So we are working with nonprofit partners like Points of Light, United Way, Keep America Beautiful. And since over 30% of all volunteer hours are contributed by faith-based communities, this is our way of engaging different constituencies with a shared purpose of service. We also have many more programs coming. America's Performance, America Innovates, which is a tech expo that also is going to have an entrepreneurial component, so stay tuned for that one as well. Well, we cannot be all things to all Americans. We have something for every American. And this will truly be a sea to shining sea effort from Guam to Alaska, from Fairbanks to Philadelphia, and everything in between. Now, let's not forget that the World Cup is also rolling out in 2026, along with the LA Olympics shortly thereafter in 2028. We have an opportunity to create a global platform of unity as billions of people from all over the world will be watching our great country. And let's not forget that in 2026 is the 25-year anniversary of 9/11. We will not forget. This country was founded in service. We will recognize and honor all of those who sacrificed their lives in order for us to enjoy the freedoms that we have today. America always rises to the occasion. Always bet on America. So as we think about the 250th anniversary, we need to remind ourselves exactly what we are celebrating. The words that bind us from the Declaration, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that everyone was created equal, is what we need to remember. That feeling that I had as a child to pursue the American dream and still feel today belongs to all of us. This land of opportunity belongs to all of us. It's no longer just what the country wants. This is what the country needs. And the true test of 250 is whether those ideals still have the power to bring us all together. I believe they do. Thank you.